Hello, hello everybody. Welcome to your weekly messages for October 30th to November 5th of 2018. And I asked you guys what you wanted me to cover if you follow me on Facebook. I put out a post, and so I got a lot of requests for career and finances and stuff like that, but I'll be reading for a few different things as well. This is not a sign-specific reading, so I just want to make that really clear. These are general messages for everybody this week, and I have quite a few decks today that I'll be using. Don't forget that as of November 1st, my prices are changing, and I've redone quite a bit of my website that I will be having go live on November 1st. So you have until the 31st at 12 o'clock Pacific time, 12 a.m. Pacific time, if you want to take advantage of the current prices. Okay, and I'm just going to pull some of these cards while people are hopping on. What's coming up for the week? Hello, hello to everybody who is joining. First thing coming up is creation. Night Blooming Daylily is the flower card for this week. And so think about, and I'm getting that creation is a much larger, it's a broader version of this word. It's not just about like arts and crafts. Like that's a very shallow interpretation of creation. Creation can literally be anything that you put into form. So it can be working on manifesting things. It can be putting together a vision board. It can be a painting or drawing something that you're just trying to use as an outlet. But remember that it's not just that one interpretation. It's actually a lot more that goes into creation. So think about the ways that you're bringing things to life this week, and that is going to give you some edge. I also have already been seeing a lot of buildup for like the new year, a lot of intention setting, a lot of manifestation stuff popping up, so take advantage of this. And then we have nurture. Okay, Moon in Cancer right now, not a surprise that this card is coming up. It's also, especially if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, you know, getting more of the fall weather happening, just kind of shifting into home, family, hearth, that whole thing. So take really good care of your space. This is a good time to declutter. It's a good time to rearrange some furniture. Again, goes along with creation. So whatever you need to do to make yourself comfortable, this is going to be a good week to do it. And then we also have feeling and form. Okay, this is exactly like the creation card. What I'm getting from this, it reminds me of manifestation, because you're taking something that you're feeling, something that you're desiring, and then bringing it into physical form. So remember, part of what's involved in timing, if you will, because I get asked questions a lot about when will this happen, when will I get a house, when will I find the partner, blah, blah, blah. The question is, have you placed your order yet? Like, that's really what you can do to kind of grease the wheels, so to speak, energetically. You want to build it in the astral first, and then it's going to start to materialize in the physical, but it might take a while. Like, so that's where timing is kind of frustrating to deal with. So it's all about kind of crafting it, and then in the meantime, you know, really exercising your belief systems and doing all of the other legwork, making the attempts, opening the doors in the physical plane so that these things can come to you. It's kind of like if you need a new job, but you never apply to any jobs, then it's not going to come up, right? So let me pull. These are the affirmation cards for work. So career, passion. There's always good information on these. Lunch. I eat my own food and I let others eat their own food. If there's not a name on the food, but I didn't buy the food, I use my brain to remember I didn't buy the food. And I assume that someone else, whose name is not my name, bought the food, even though they didn't write my not name on the food. I will also repeat this affirmator very loudly so everyone can benefit from the gentle positivity. It's a blatant hint. This is kind of, it's funny because this seems like a silly thing to have in here, but I totally get kind of the idea of staying in your lane, right? Like not treading into someone else's territory, like making sure what's yours is yours. This is also a huge boundary card, right? So maybe there's some boundaries that you need to set around your job or work or with a coworker. Whatever's popping up for you, whatever you're getting intuitively, this is kind of saying, you know, exercise boundaries as best as you can, even with yourself. And then there's also, you know, just making sure that you're keeping everything contained for yourself. Okay, I'm going to pull one more of these. Luck. Good fortune is about to smile on you, so get your cosmic camera ready and prepare to capture the moment. This luck might come in the form of something small like a miraculous parking space or permission to choose the lunch order, or it might rain down as something more significant like a new promotion or a new position in your dream career with double the salary and triple the benefits, or a new coworker that ends up being your BFF, or true love. At the very least, maybe you'll come across a candy dish with something good in it. Psst, look beneath the banana runs. So definitely a nice card to have. Compliment that one. Luck is always welcome here. Okay, so I don't know what I want to do position wise. I think, okay, I'm going to pull a card for your passion. So whatever work you do in the world, it can be, you know, if you're a stay-at-home parent, then you can use this for that work that you do, because that's a lot of work. If you're a business owner, you can use this for that. If you're at a job, just a 9 to 5, you can use it for that. So whatever you're passionate about. And then we'll do one for money. So money advice. And then we will do one for, let's do one for health. And I'll pull one for relationships because I know that people are always wondering about that. So that's the card. What we need to know about these areas. Okay, first thing, starting with your passion, your career, we have 9 of Swords. So this is really going to be a week. And again, we're sticking with the theme of creation because this is looking at the big picture. I think you're getting a really strong contrast between what's working, what's not working, what feels good, what doesn't feel good. And this is highlighting what you need to do next. It's really helping you feel out your next steps. And so the 9 of Swords is just kind of providing that feedback for you organically. This deck has a very different interpretation than any other deck that I have of the 9 of Swords. This is actually a really positive interpretation of it, because it's removing all the fear. It's stripping all of the fear that is in the original interpretation of this card, and it's just focusing on like, what are you learning from the contrast? Remember that you cannot feel into what is without the what isn't. So you need this in order to move forward with whatever you're doing, whether it be discomfort, right? If you get uncomfortable enough, that's what can give you a nudge to make a change. If you're, and same goes, like if things are really working for you, you might be finding or seeing something that's providing contrast that helps you feel appreciative of what you do have going right now. So it's all about contrast for you this week, and then it's going to help you kind of figure out what you need to do. But remember, you want to place the order. You want to ask or request or demand. That works too for manifestation, whatever your style is, whatever it is that you want. You can't just sit and wait for it to happen. You have to like affirm it. Now, money, what we have coming up for money this week. Ace of Discs. This is an awesome card to have coming up. Again, we have another reference to creation. So if you look right here, we have the belly kind of has this labyrinth, right? And normally the second chakra is where you create from. So, I mean, think about this literally as when women are pregnant, it starts in the belly. Like that is the area that cultivates life. So that's kind of what's coming up here is a reference to that. So it really is about manifesting, asking, getting clear on it. That's going to be the best thing that you can do for your financial situation. I read this book recently and it really put it into an interesting perspective. I can't remember the name of it, but what she was saying is that money and abundance actually exist on a spiritual plane. And so we're just experiencing the physical manifestation of it. But if you put your faith more on that spiritual plane and you start thinking about money as something that's an infinite resource, that's going to kind of help give you some relief from the physical experience, the physical world that's riddled with fear. So you kind of have to shift some of the fear out in order to make space for your ability to manifest, basically. But remember that resources are not physical, okay? They end up being physical, but that's not how they start. So remember their starting point. And then health. This one's health. We have Two of Wands. I think things are really starting to come together in terms of, this could be anything from calling in the right team, the right practitioner, the right person to support you with your health. It could also be just overall habits that you're implementing into your life. Maybe you're really getting in the groove of eating well or an exercise routine or whatever it is. But this reference, when you look at the trees, I really like this card. Think about how much time it took for those roots to grow, for the branches to grow. It was not overnight. It took a while. So when it comes to your health, remember that it's a process, whether you be doing emotional healing work with like a therapist or some type of practitioner, or you're working out, again, like maybe you're trying to build your endurance. These things take time. And if you go into this area of your life with the expectation that you're going to have overnight results, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. And so this is just reminding you that consistency is what's going to help you get to where you want to go. And the area of relationships. So you can use this for whatever you want, whether it be romantic, platonic, whatever relationships you want to focus on. We have the Hierophant. Again, we have boundaries popping up. So the thing with the Hierophant card is it's really about structure. So there's like a formula that you can use or some way to like set limits with yourself, or feel out what are your limits overall with certain relationships, and that is going to really, it's funny because boundaries, while I know that a lot of people struggle with them because they might have an association between if you set boundaries then you're mean, this is really what's going to support your relationships. It's what props them up. It's what helps you identify who is a supporter and who's not, is when you set those boundaries and see, are they being respected and reciprocated? And then it actually helps reduce resentment as well. So don't forget that all of those things matter for relationships. Okay, I'm getting another, no, not yet. Okay, we'll do the 3-card pick in a little bit, but I forgot I have another deck out. So you guys know this one. It has 1 word on each card and then 3 phrases. So what you can do is just pay attention to the phrase that's really resonating with you most on each card, and that's the insight that you can take with you through this week. All right, so liminal, breathe through the confusion, discover fleeting, fledgling, inspiration. Sorry, it's really hard to see on that, on this, on the colors here. Uncertain places are where the most exciting visions are born. The zone of infinite possibility calls you into a time of magic. Okay, this is also what I was talking about with, remember, if you just think about resources as being on a spiritual plane, that's going to help you shift out of scarcity in the physical. So lean into uncertainty. And then we also have catharsis. Feel your feelings before you try to move forward. The solution may be emotional rather than logical. A messy situation may be an important healing in disguise. Okay, so try to find the value in the situations that you have popping up. And we also have process. Be curious about how you do it. Find a flow that works for you. Give the work time and space to unfold. Rushing will only delay things further in the end. We had that pop up here with the 2 of Wands. Okay, then agreement. Take joy in defining roles and responsibilities. A clear guideline is required to maintain the relationship. What I say. Deliver on promises and reset expectations where necessary. Okay, so agreements are really working for you. That's the structure that I was talking about, the Hierophant. Like, that's the boundary that you can really put in place for yourself. Okay, and then discernment. Establish what's yours and what isn't. That's what we had up here. Be conscious about your yes. Create permeable boundaries. Okay, I like that one. Let's do one more. I really like these cards. And alignment. Explore energy first. Matter will follow. What have I been saying? Okay, then we have find the spine, yours or the one in the situation, address the source, and everything will fall into place. So alignment is the trick here. I know that a lot of people have the question, well, how do I know if it's right? How do I know if it's, the right decision or the right move or the right relationship? And honestly, there's no guarantee on anything. The only thing that you can do is feel into alignment with yourself and then trust that if it's not the right situation, that it's going to get removed quickly and easily. So that is, that's really what you can do, is just say, you know what, God, divine source, the universe, if it's not right, just take it away. And I know that's a really scary mantra to work with, but hey, if you want answers quick, that's what you can use. Amy, I have not seen that deck, but I will check it out. So thank you. Okay, we're doing a 3-card pick now, because it would not be a good reading without a 3-card pick. All right, so you're welcome to pick a card that works for you. You can ask a question. Whatever you want to do. Okay, card number 1. We have the King of Cups. Okay, so this is emotional mastery is kind of what the king represents. So feeling out this week and just going through it as you're really developing a lot of emotional skills, I'm getting, or stability this week. So maybe it starts off a little turbulent and then it clears up by the end of the week. It just looks like things are smoothing out, like you're able to ride the waves a little bit more easy in terms of your emotions rather than feeling burnt out by them. Card number 2, we have 6 of Swords. So this is like moving. It's interesting. These actually are kind of bringing the same message here, the King of Cups and the 6 of Swords. Because the 6 of Swords is like you're going from an uncertain time, an unclear time, and moving towards land, like a grounded space. So it's almost like the shift from water to earth in terms of the energetics of it. So I think that's what this is reminding you of, or that's what you're starting to see happen, is going from just the emotional experience and moving into the physical or a more grounded experience of this. So that looks really good, especially if you felt really wishy-washy or discombobulated or really tired or super dreamy, I would say. I was watching one of my friends do a video on the astrology, and so she was just talking about how there's all this water happening right now, like the water trine or whatever. I'm not an astrologer, but that's kind of what's shifting out this week. And then we also have the 8 of Cups for the 3rd card. So this is like changing the way you look at it is the biggest asset that you have this week. Because it's kind of like all you can do is choose the way you look at it. I am all for feeling the feelings that are coming up, as we already had that pop up here. But there's also like, okay, once they're felt, you kind of have a choice in how you're perceiving it or what you're doing with the information. So don't forget that it's like the feelings carry you up to a point, and then it's kind of like, what are you deciding to do? What are you going to view the situation as being? Is it going to work for you, or are you going to position yourself in a way where it's more of a detriment? And like, you do have the ability to decide for yourself. So that is what the 8 of Cups has to share with you today. And that is all that I have for you, everybody. Don't forget, tomorrow's the last day. Tomorrow at 12 a.m. Pacific time, or I guess 11:59, since that would be the end of the 31st. Sorry, I'm reading comments now. I'm sorry if it's buffering. I have not been getting any notices for that, so I'm sorry about that. But otherwise, I hope you have a lovely week, everybody. I'll go ahead and hop off if there's issues that are popping up. And I will talk to you all later. Bye-bye.